Hi again and welcome back. That video was getting a little long, so I stopped it for a second. And okay, so here you go. Here's what I was talking about. As you can see, she's or he it just has a air in her butt or something that is kind of holding her tail up, and she well okay. So now you see she kind of went down, right? I'm sorry, it's hard for me to look and do all this stuff, and like I said, I'm super new to all of this, especially the whole YouTube thing. And so I mean, I was never a fish person. I'm actually was a dog person, but now I guess I'm gonna have to put my all into fish now because I'm this far into it. So and I tell you, I hate when I had my dogs. I had Jack Russell Terriers, and I had them for like 20 years. And when they got old, the worst part about having dogs or animals in general is when they pass away. You just are absolutely distraught. Now, I didn't think fish would affect me in the same way, but they actually do. And when I see my fish, you kind of, I don't want to come off as being unfeeling about it, but something like shrimp, let's say. I don't particularly like seeing shrimp, dead at the bottom of my tank or anything, but it's a lot easier to get attached to a fish, which I was very surprised at. Like I said, I've never really thought of myself as a fish person, but I can see how you can get attached to fish just like I got attached to my dogs, because they are kind of unique and you can tell them apart a lot easier than, let's say, just my shrimp, which are basically, they all kind of look the same, But when it comes to the fish, it's easy to say, hey, that one with the white head, or that one with the double tail, or that guy with the, crazy looking stripe on his back or whatever. So it's kind of easy to get a little attached to them, and I really hate losing fish. I also have, I'm not sure if you can see them in there, but there's a couple of silver dollars, and there's also a couple of, I guess those are long-tailed tiger barbs, maybe. The silver dollars I had in the pond outside, but it had gotten so cold that they weren't doing very good, and I thought that I was going to actually lose them. So I got nervous one day and I brought them in, and they seemed to be doing real good. One guy, I think, bashed his eye up a little bit. So he didn't actually lose his eye, but I'm not sure if it's in working condition. The bigger guy, which is, he's around somewhere. I think that's him right there. He came back to life real good, so he's doing real good. The other guy, like I said, he's doing real good, but I think his one eye got a little screwed up. So back to my beef about YouTube videos. I really find it frustrating when I look something up on YouTube and the title of the video is something. Let's say today I was looking up cloudy eye because those guys in that little thing there would seem to have some cloudy eyes. So I said, let me go look that up again. Of course, out of a gazillion videos, only one or two were real. I don't even say one or two, but only a few of them were actually informational, and I could understand what the people were actually trying to tell you, and the information was straight up, and it was like a yes or no kind of thing. It wasn't this, just blurry, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. I understand that, it's kind of hard to just tell what it is or not if you're not a veterinarian, or especially a fish veterinarian. But it's just very frustrating, and especially what I don't like about YouTube is a lot of the titles are very misleading. They might say something like cloudy eye and how to cure it, and then out of a 10-minute video, 9 minutes of it were nothing. It had nothing to do with cloudy eye. Or sometimes there'll be no talking. You know what I mean? There'll be no whatever you want to call it. No. I'm kind of lost for words now, but there's no talking, so it's kind of hard. You're just sitting there and you're just watching a fish go around the tank, and you're saying, yeah, you know, I could see whatever is the problem with the fish. Maybe it's got a cloudy eye, and you can see all of that, but there's nothing really. There's no information being told to you, like, so that's very frustrating too. So getting back to this, I figured today I would try to make a video with some talking in it so I can explain my situation. Now, like I said, I'm super new at this, and anybody who wants to comment, please do. Tell me what you see I'm doing wrong, or if there's any suggestions. Like I said, when I first started, I had no idea what I'm doing. I'm a little bit better now, and as you can see, I think I've had these guys now for about a year in here. So they are doing okay, and most of my tanks are pretty clear, as you can see it. They don't, which I'm not really so much, like, I don't really get crazy about the clarity of the water and stuff like that. Like, I understand it's, you know, whatever. In nature, obviously the water maybe is not going to be totally crystal clear, but you can see that my tanks are pretty clear. They don't have, like, you know, it's not like they're just total green messes. This one, I would say, out of all of them, probably is the one that has the most green algae. I mean, I haven't cleaned the front glass at all because I just figured the shrimp were just loving it, you know. And the mollies kind of like it. They're constantly eating stuff. But eventually, now this is another tank that's getting set up. Eventually that's going to get cleaned, and there's the 90 that doesn't have anybody in it because I don't have a heater for it, and I'm a little nervous about putting some guys in there. Now summer's coming, so I might forego the heater and maybe put some of these goldfish guys in there because they seem to do okay in what I would say my temperature without a heater in this tank is probably I want to say in the high 60s, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll actually show you my little thingy here. Okay, so right now in my room here, the top number, 66, right? 67, so it's about 68 degrees in this room. And the bottom number there would be the probe. So if I put the probe in, this water is... it's about 68.5 degrees. Now, this probe, I think, is not that great, and I think it's kind of low, like maybe even up to 2 degrees lower than what the actual temperature is. So if it says 68 on the probe, it could be up to, I would say, even maybe 70 degrees. Now, I have, let me see if I could do this. Okay, I have Higger, as you can see right there, I have a Higger heater. Now it's set to 75, and it's down. If you can see it there. Well, if that guy gets out of the way, you can see the heat is right there, right? It's hanging on the back there. So if it says 75 on the heater thing, and I test what my probe says, and my probe says 73, right? So that makes me think that my probe is 2 degrees lower than what my actual temperature is. Now, if I come over here, I have another Higger over here, and that's in the back there, right? And this one is set to 75. So right now it says 74.7. So you would think that if the probe was 2 degrees low, it should be 72.7. And if I go in, 73, let's say 73.7, let's just say. So it's about 1 degree. So it's my probe is pretty close to what they are. So when I test all my water temperatures and everything, I try to keep everything around. These guys are a little bit higher. That one back there is 77. But I think I keep this one a little bit high because I had an ick outbreak at one time, and that made me just always be nervous about the temperature. So it's always been a little higher for these guys. The rest of them though, like this one is set, you can see it's 76. It's actually probably set at 74, and it's a little warm in here, so it's up to 76. That one back there, that's a real cheapo one, I think, and it says 81, but if I turn my probe on it, let's see, my probe says, what does it say? It says 76. So that little cheapo heater is actually, you know, pretty crazy. I would think that it's more, if my probe says 76, it's probably about 78 degrees in there. And that's the little Molly tank, which I think I'm going to try to lower it a little bit, because I'd like to try to get them all at around 75 or even less, maybe even 72 degrees, and hopefully not have any more ick outbreaks. So I guess I'm going to end this video and just say that if anybody has any suggestions or wants to comment or tell me what they think they might see I can do better at, or what I might need to learn, go ahead and comment. Here's another, I'll just show you this guy real quick. He's little Danio. Okay, and I don't know if you can see, but he had a most beautiful long tail, and he's actually developed, I guess it would be called fin rot, maybe. He had his tail completely fell off, but he's actually doing a lot better. He was kind of on, you know, they get to that point where they start to, you can just tell that something's wrong. They're just, you know, they're just like floating at the top and not really doing good. Or sometimes they're sinking to the bottom and not really doing good. Or they're off by themselves, you know, in a corner somewhere, and you just know that they're not acting normal. Now, he is actually doing a lot better, and I really didn't do anything to him. The only thing that I do notice is he had on his tail, I'll never be able to get in there close enough for you to see, but he had what looked like, you know when what's called pine coning, when their scales puff out or they get bloated, and his tail kind of looked a little bit, I don't know if you can actually see it, it's very hard to see, but on his tail, he has what looked like, geez, I'm not even sure how to explain it. It has a little bit, he's a glowfish, so whatever growth or whatever he was having a problem with on his tail, it had a glow to, you know, like the rest of his fins. They were kind of glowing like, so it didn't seem like it was so much of a parasite like ick or something like that. It just seemed like it was some kind of, and if you notice, he developed what I would say is a bent spine or something. I mean, I don't think he's as straight aligned his back as he was. Now, that's something that I have a koi outside that was fine and just all of a sudden seemed to have a really, I don't know if it was ammonia poisoning or nitrate poisoning or whatever happened to the water. I in the beginning, I wasn't exactly a pro at this stuff, and I'm not a pro now, but I definitely was screwing up and not changing my water and not testing water and stuff like that. And he got such a bad curved back and tail from, I think, nitrite or ammonia or some kind of, you know, bad water parameter poisoning, which is just, it's insane. Like, I thought that it was some sort of genetic thing, but it definitely was not, because as you can see, that other little guy kind of has it too. He's got slightly curved, his body is not really straight and symmetrical anymore. So anyways, I'm going to end this video too, because I just keep talking on and on, but I'm new, so I'm going to be back with more videos and lots of questions for anybody who wants to give me some information or a little insight into the whole aquarium hobbyist thing. All right, see you all later.